Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Berserk manga read-through. Today we are reading volume 33, and again, like a broken record, I say thank you for your patience between videos as I work on getting these out to you. I usually have a valid excuse. I moved house, had a bunch of internet issues, and wasn't really able to sit down and read through it, and it's been annoying me because I really wanted to continue the story and share it with you guys, so again, thank you for your patience as you wait for me to get my shit sorted and I can share it with you. So today we're sitting down and we're going through volume 33, and I'm super excited to continue the story. So thank you for waiting. Let's proceed and see what we're going to get into this episode. We've got volume 33, which has Griffith on the cover, and we've been having some really amazing story developments taking place. A new golden age is on the horizon at this point, with Griffith's Band of the Hawk being the heroes coming in with the Pope's blessing, essentially just being like, we're the only army in this place and you have to deal with it. So let's see how that pans out, shall we? Checking the lovely artwork at the beginning of this one, where we've got the Emperor with dark red eyes. That isn't how I imagined it in color, actually, which is really interesting when you get like an interpretation of the color version, like dark clouds with red eyes. For some reason, the way that it was drawn in the manga for me, I would always just imagine it being sort of stormy clouds, not this dark, but like stormy gray clouds with yellow lightning eyes. But red gives a very interesting vibe, because then it changes the whole imagery for me. It's like red lightning now, like that you see in Elden Ring. That's kind of cool. I just had like the cliche yellow lightning coming in, but there you go. That's cool to see. And then we've got, what's his face? Roderick? Is his name Roderick? Captain of the Shipman, who's actually quite decent. I'm intrigued to see how his character is going to develop. I don't like Farnese's brother. He's just not good. So I wonder if he'll get any redemption, or whether he'll just stay kind of being scared and annoying in the background of situations. But we'll see how that pans out. Volume 33, and again with Griffith on the cover, running us through with our main characters that we have read the intros before. We have Griffith, Farnese, Serpico. Yeah, his name is Roderick. And then it also has now added the Emperor Ganishka, which is an apostle and emperor of the Kashan Empire. He's trying to surpass the God Hand, but that didn't go down very well. Griffith kind of showed up and went, look, mate, we're going to take apart your ship now. We're going to take apart your house. Calm down. Chill out. Guts, Casca, Farnese, Serpico, Shiaka, Isidro, Puck, and Ivalera have boarded the Seahorse. The Lith... Is it... I've already forgotten. Hang on. It's been a while since we've seen this word. How are we pronouncing this? I can't remember. The Ith Navy warship, captained by Roderick, and have at long last set sail for Elf Helm. Living on board as guests brings about emotional shifts and a brief time of rest for each member of the group. As they each pursue their own aims, they again become aware that they have other people on their minds. Guts' journey to this point has eaten away at his mind and body, and the Berserker armor has proven to be an additional ordeal. Even so, Guts' indomitable spirit has finally changed a faint hope into reality. Instead of achieving revenge against Griffith, Guts, though his feelings waver at times, has managed to ensure Casca's safety. The voyage to Elf Helm, however, has only just begun. This is our Star Wars opening crawl in the Berserk manga now. So good. And there's Griffith on the hill. First chapter is Bubbles of Futility. There we go. So we're on the boat. We got Casca saying her classic line of "Ow, ow," as Guts watches, and hopefully Casca doesn't fall overboard at this point by getting too curious. Something happens to Guts's vision where it darkens for a moment, and there's an image of a bird that goes past that is, I think, a real bird, because she seems to notice it, but it really affects his eye. To the point where I think his heart starts beating. And as this is happening, we need to remember that Farnese's in the middle of her witchcraft lesson with Shirka, and they're currently astral projecting. That happened last episode. Guts. Casca. Ahoy. Airing yourself up here in the sea breeze won't do your injuries any good, Boss Guts. Just call me Guts, Captain. He's looking super beaten up on his face, hey? Then you can just call me Roderick. So, what are you up to? Aha, you're keeping watch. As she tries to catch him. Why don't you stick closer to her? Isn't she at risk? I mean... Tell me, just what exactly is she to you? Is she your woman? As they make eye contact and she darts her eyes away from him again. Well, she's my... Oh, and then with a flash, Farnese is woken up just before they could get that answer on that little bit of astral eavesdropping. Are you alright, Farnese? Yes. Lady Farnese, why did I just suddenly... Why? I don't want to know. Both of them. Very interesting. Hey! Now, just a minute, miss. I knew that there was going to be some trouble with Casca on the boat. And without even skipping a beat, Guts is dropping down to grab her. Casca! Come back. He's trying to get her. He's like, Casca. Oh, God. We're not going to have like a... She's not going to just... God, hits a wave and she just loses her balance. God, and Guts just grabs her hand. Oh! And it rips the... Oh. Guts. You had a pretty solid grip on there. Was it only because we grabbed onto, like, it slipped right through because it grabbed the clothing? God damn it. Casca overboard. It was one of the most predictable things you could ever see. You see Casca just, like, watching something on the side of a boat. You're like, at some point, Casca's going overboard. Because Casca is always in trouble. How to put Casca in trouble. The next chapter. Find out next time. Wait! You're in no shape to... He dives in after her, does not care. Man overboard! Heave to! Oh no! Oh, but we get one of these beautiful scenes instead. You know, this has happened before. No shit, this is a nostalgia trip to last time this happened. Don't struggle! Literally rescuing you. Wow. And he's fallen down. Guts! Uh-oh. Left arm's too heavy. Now I remember. Anytime she stands next to water, nothing good ever comes of it. Wow. Bittersweet, painful memories of distant days. But at the end, it's always the eclipse. And then he wakes up. Fucking hell. That, like, recounting all those painful memories and sweet memories, you know? Guts! You push yourself too hard in that shape and of course you're gonna drown. Roderick rescued you. Well, maybe now we're a little closer to even? I'm hoping he didn't use mouth to mouth. Casca! You mustn't make sudden movements. Fear not, she is alive and well. Farnese is giving her a hot bath at the moment. Alright. If you all would please excuse us, Guts needs his rest. Take care. I must redraw the erased talisman. If you need anything, just say the word. Are we at the land yet? Oh god, it's this guy. Is he seasick? You're mummifying, Magnifico. Oh yeah, it's Magnifico. This must be the morgue. Is he even worse shape? Jesus. I'm sorry. Please sit up once more and face away. Sure. God, his body is so incredibly scarred. And that hand failed him in that moment. Not only did it, he not grab Casca in time, but it was also the thing dragging him down. God, the phantom pain. Every night, he feels his arm. I'd forgotten. It's just a lump of iron attached so I could beat up my enemies. Yeah? She slipped right through. Yeah. I guess even if you force back what was lost, it still won't be the way it was. Wow. God, that final sentence. I assumed that he had some sort of control over the hand. But I guess we've never really seen it. So it does make sense that that's going to be the hand that's not going to have a solid grip, and he just like instinctively went to grab her with that hand. I know logically, prosthetics are always an interesting thing, especially like fantasy prosthetics, because you're like, how logically does it work? It's not like it's connected to his nerves or anything. For some reason, I just always assumed that it would just work for some reason. Like he had control over it. But yeah, I think with that in mind, you realize how useless that arm can be sometimes, but at the same time, like he can still grip onto his sword pretty tight with it. Like he does two-hand the sword. The amount of messages that you can take out of context from this story and just have such deeper meaning outside of that is really beautiful. Like even if you force back what was lost, it still won't be the way that it was. Which is kind of, you know, Guts is obviously talking about his relationship with Casca at this point in time. We'll move into chapter 288, which is Naval Battle Part 1. So, safe to assume we're about to have trouble on the horizon. The talisman is getting redrawn on Guts' back, which is just in peak physical condition in terms of its musculature structure, but so scarred. Pain. It transmits to me as I'm doing this. Maybe that's a result of our ethereal bodies overlapping. His large back. The burns make it feel hot. I clung to this, albeit ethereally. She's getting a heartbeat. Are you done? Oh, yes, almost. So we are somewhat dealing with Shirka having one of those like childish crushes on an adult, which I think is a very natural thing for like young people to have. It's a child thing. They always get this weird, like, it's an admiration for older figures in their life that they don't really understand the full nature of relationships and the consequences for that, but they just kind of, you guys know what I mean. There's like, you always sometimes experience that, like, it's that childish view on relationships. Like you'll see like kids in primary school being in a relationship or being like, we're getting married, and it's like that weird kind of childish view on how they see adult relationships, and it's very interesting to see it done here, because you don't really see that often, or at least I haven't really seen it done often at all. But it's kind of cool to see that, and how how realistic it is, to be honest. That's my own seal, because then you have Ivalera going, there goes the love sensor, and she's like, ugh. Because she's just got like a childish crush, you know? But she doesn't truly really understand why. I will go prepare new medicines and bandages, so you just keep resting, please. Thanks for all the help. Phew. Oh, now we cut to this. This was just before things happened, so the astral projection is still taking place. Tell me, what is she to you? Is she your woman? Shirka? She's my... That's fine, because we have something already. Something that just belongs to us. So, yeah, there you go. So, I think maybe... This is really funny, because I think that explains that the reason why they were pulled out of the astral projection was Shirka pulling them out. Because Shirka having a little bit of strange jealousy towards the fact that Guts and Casca are a thing. And Farnese's like, why did we just get pulled out? Oh, I'm sorry. Does it sting? I'll hurry and wash it out. Just getting soap in her eye. Oh, and okay. And this is the part of the story where Mira said, and now the girls have a wet t-shirt fight with hot water. Why? Why must you be that way? He nearly died. Don't you realize? He's been hurt again and again for your sake. He's been covered in wounds, and yet you don't understand a thing. And still he... No fair. Wow. And then she bathes herself. She just puts hot water on herself. It isn't fair. Alright, now we've got the boys looking through the monocles at people in the distance. I like that breakdown of Farnese as well, because this is something that like the audience, like the readers as well as the characters are feeling, which is like Casca, like Guts is putting his life on the line for you every single day. That's what he does. Like man almost dies every day trying to protect you because you fall off a boat or you get kidnapped by monsters. And the whole time you're like, get away from me. And it's so hard. It is so hard for all these characters to deal with that, because Casca is just broken at the moment. And we're still, just wondering if Elf Helm is going to help or not. Because as Guts said, you can't force... You can try and force something to be back the way that it was, but it will never be the same. And I feel like that's what we kind of have to learn to accept with Casca and Guts' relationship. As much as we wish that things could be back to normal, they'll never be the same ever again. Have a look, Captain. Armed merchantmen? They're flying flags of our own Ith. Ith. Yeah, 2 eyes. Keep forgetting how to say it. Until a bit ago, their nationality was unclear, but upon noticing us, they changed course and suddenly raised those flags. There's been no response to the signal we sent. You don't say. All hands! Battle stations! It's a naval battle time. Get the cannons out. Just a slight tangent, just for a sec, is I love the era of piracy in history. Like, I love pirate ships and the whole concept of that. The whole concept of piracy is so fascinating to me. Pirate games are great. A game that I used to love playing as a kid was Sid Meier's Pirates. And then I love Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like, I just love that era. I wouldn't want to live in it. Not at all. But it just is a fascinating period of history for sure. Like, I love the whole thing. It's great. And that's where like all of like the deep sea like myths and sirens and mermaids and krakens and all that kind of stuff. Pirates of the Caribbean, amazing series. Whether it's Johnny Depp or whether it's the fourth or fifth movies that aren't as good as the originals, they're still fun because it's pirates and it's just great fun. That's my little tangent. I love piracy. It's great. Good old the Flying Dutchman. And the CGI in Dead Man's Chest on Davy Jones is still some of the best graphical effects that I've ever seen to this day. And that was a 2006 movie. It's crazy, you know? Absolutely insane. Anyway, battle stations are being prepared and everyone's getting alerted. Ooh, here we go. Captain? You scallywag! What in hell are you looking at? She's a warship! I'm sorry, I'd never seen her like before. We tried turning over a new leaf and starting some honest business, and our cargo of brats runs off. So being forced to turn back to this trade, our first prey turns out to be this. We really are luckless. But Captain, we have 3 ships. A warship's captain and officers are nobles, I'd wager. If we take them hostage and demand a fortune in ransom, douche, boss. Call me boss man. Pain in my arse you lot are. Typical cliche looking pirate too. We are 3 ships though. Great, so we've got Captain Hook. Love it. We could get a ransom for the captain and his officers. He's so mean. This is Berserk's Captain Hook and Shmee. And he's got a peg leg as well. If only he had a hook. Do you hear that, Shmee? He's after me other hand! Right, hoist the skull and crossbones. We're back in business, me hearties. The Mickey Mouse pirate flag. It looks like Mickey Mouse ears on a hat. They've changed flags. It's pirate colors. I know. Roderick, what in the world? Pirates? Sirs, this is no time. We're preparing for battle. You guessed it. This will be dangerous, so take the women and wounded and hide in the hold, would you? Let us help too? Now, don't be like that. I was constantly in your debt on land, so at least leave the sea to me. We get to see what Roderick can do. Yeah, but make with the mayhem. Pirate puck. Sidro, let us leave this to the experts. Our being here would just be a hindrance to everyone. Well said, outsider. You're one to talk. Fucking Azan, still in disguise. Then at least let me watch. I swear I won't get in the way. Fine, but it's on your head if you get killed. We're getting a lot of double-page spreads, which is really cool. 4 of you, go with our guests. Transport the wounded into the hold. Windmaster, take care of Farnese. I love that he calls him Windmaster. Take care of my fiancé Farnese. The name is Serpico. Target the rightmost pirate ship. We've got him. Once we're in range, let fly all guns and stay on approach. So here we get to see so we've got Windmaster, but this is Seamaster. We're going to see how 1 ship verse 3 goes down. Yar! The sea louse! Those dogs, what range do they have on those cannons? It's near to twice ours. Okay, so they've already taken out 1. It looks like. Berserk is now One Piece. The One Piece is real. Boss man! It ain't just range, they're hardly missing at this distance. That's some accurate shooting, and they fired a second volley in no time at all. What skills! Damn them all! Well, this looks like it's going to be a quick battle. How is this only part 1? It's going to be over before we even know it. Is that a seahorse figurehead? It couldn't be. An Ith warship with a seahorse figurehead. I've heard of that. They say 1 ship single-handedly defeated 5 Tudor warships. That's right. It's Roderick, the sailing prince of Ith. Okay. It's Roderick's seahorse. No shit. Okay. Berserk. Let's move into chapter 289, because that's how the part 1 of the naval battle ends. Let's check out part 2. So, Roderick was a good character to end up with if we're traveling by sea. Man's equipped. You'd best not challenge one of Ith's cutting-edge galleons with those slowpoke carracks. Whoa, you're hitting them, and they ain't close. Oh yeah? We've got Isidro trying to look through the monocle and Puck inching in front of him, looking instead with his whole head. So good. Nice. This just makes me want to go replay Black Flag. If only Ubisoft's Skull and Bones game didn't get delayed 6 million times and then get delayed again, and it just looks like it's going to be so bad, which is a shame. Big shame. All they had to do was make Black Flag again, but slightly different, and they would have had a gold mine, but they just sat on their butts, and now it's going to be weird. This is bad, boss man. The sea louse and mud snail both have broken main and foremasts. They can't sail. Don't back down. We've got to find some way to get the Captain Shark Rider close enough to board them. But how? With grit. Bite into them. Why did he bite on his nose for? Comedic pirates. To port. Bout ship. Hard to port. Bout? Sumo bout. He fucking spins super fast too, Jesus. The ship's gear and sailors are top notch, but her captain's a dimwit. Oh, what a prince. He's turned himself downwind. In a sea battle, everyone knows he who has the wind has the advantage. Yes, okay. Hard to port. Draw onto them now. We can't, boss. We're caught between the sea louse and mud snail, and the ship can't turn. What? And there's so much smoke in the air we can't see the seahorse. That dog. Don't tell me he planned this. To begin with, it's a big mistake to think the windward side always has the advantage. I can't see through the smoke. Out of the way, sea louse. It doesn't matter, just fire away. From upwind, the smoke hangs in front of your field of vision, making it hard to sight the enemy. And from downwind, the sturdy flank facing the enemy gradually rises. Captain, please put your head down. Which makes it hard to hit the decks where the crew are. Conversely, the upwind exposes their deck to the enemy. Additionally, we omit the labour of ramming in each of our cannonballs, and our angle of fire is better. Bam! Tear that ship apart. Just keep firing away while we get through this smoke. She's up ahead of it. And they're all just like, huh? Gone? Where'd she go? Is it behind her now? It all comes down to how you utilize the situation. Good show, good sir. I can't even read this at this point. There's so many double spreads that it's actually getting so hard to read. Naval custom dictates that the stained palm be turned downward. When did that dog get upwind? Fire! Just wrecking them. That's just too fast. Talk about turning speed. Is that ship a monster? Ready the starboard cannons. We won't make it in time. Boss man, we can't keep this up. We're gonna get wiped out. I knew it. We shouldn't have picked a fight with the sailing Prince of Ith. Oh, shut up, you. He's made a goddamn fool of me. We're withdrawing, you dogs. Cast all heavy cargo overboard and get our asses out of here at top speed. Boss man, what about the sea louse and the mud snail crews? Those who fall behind get left behind. I won't forget this, sailing Prince of Ith. I hope a shark bites your ass. Do we pursue? Let them go. After knocking them about that much, they'll make fine prey for other pirates or privateers. Besides, why would we do something as inelegant as capturing those squalid fools and making them sail together with my fiancée? End of battle, gentlemen. Well done. I permit a clip of rum to all those off duty with nothing to do. Go inform milady in the hold. What's that look for? So you're not just a wussy lady killer, or an irresponsible captain either. So I guess this whole chapter was just, these couple of chapters were just to show that Roderick is very capable and to kind of introduce who he actually is. Otherwise, because it was just such, they just rocked up. Those pirates are like, hello, goodbye. Just, it was over before it even began. The bombardment seems to have ended. How is Guts' condition? His fever has risen again. Due to the burns, he cannot perspire. Looks stressed, like he's having some bad dream. That's my take anyhow. If only Puck and Ivalera had healing pixie dust for him to snort. Teacher, can you dispel the nightmare using magic? Well, I can, but Guts' debility is intense, so I would think it would instead become a liability. All we can do now is leave him be. Oh, what's he dreaming about? He's dreaming about chains. Chains that transform into teeth. Oh, that's so cool. Fuck yeah. That's really cool. The beast within him that is chained down. That's a great shot. And that's the end of that chapter. That's cool. Let's move into chapter 290. A howl from the darkness. As Guts is still healing from his wounds as they sit in the darkness in the hold. Guts! He's burning up. Suffering from his nightmare of the beast in chains. Look at that image. That's just insane. Don't think you can bind me with this yoke. The moment you acquired that shell, I had already been released. The clever witch thinks she's tamed me, but that's just temporary. Your new companions, those you protect, warm lights, fine for now. You cling to those trifling chains. But the closer they get to you, the more they entwine about you, the more exposed they are to death. Then someday they'll be smashed and torn, just like that time in the eclipse. Make them precious to you. It's all the more to lose. Fucking hell, man. That's insane. Just like the chains, the connections you form, the friendships you make will be broken and shattered like they were with the Band of the Hawk during the time of the eclipse. No one will be able to prevent that moment. You'll find yourself consumed by me. May we run rampant with hatred and wild joy, just to crush with these fangs the true light that burns us. Wow, the imagery of the beast breaking free from the chains and pursuing the hawk. That's beautiful. But for now, I'll obey. I'll hold my breath deep in the darkness within us, bound, restrained. I'll conserve my energy, and then, someday... And he's awake. Fucking hell, dude. He do be haunted. Guts! He's come to. No, you must lie down. Are you alright? You were having quite the nightmare. Guts? What was that? I can't remember. Hi ahoy! We won! And how? Oh man, battleships are awesome. The cannons went all nuts like boom, boom. My ears are all ringing and now I can't hear anything. Your voice is too loud. What did you say? Hey Guts, how you doing? I'm definitely awake, thanks to you. What did you say? Let's head up. It's dark down here. So good. Pirate celebration. Azan celebrating, even though I did not even see him do anything. And Isidro just fucking high on life right now. Puck and Ivalera having a bit of an elf dance too. Ooh, I drank, I sang, I made some noise. Ooh, ain't that an apple in a barrel? Sweet. Let's see. Maybe some dessert. Oh god, now he's just got trapped in the barrel. God damn it. Vlunk. Is he trapped in the barrel? Let's see. We'll find out. Looks like the lid is closed on top of him. You're looking really rough, man. Sure, thanks to you. So what's this matter of importance? I happened to overhear some of the crew. This Skellig Island that they're headed for is known amongst sailors as a legendary island of elves. Apparently. Legend says a great elf king dwells there or something. It's not just a legend. I'm a merchant. Unlike the sailors, I don't happen to have a mind that swallows superstitions, but things are different this time. After all, we have living proof on this ship. 2 of them, in fact. And what are you trying to say? I want you to help me With you and your ship's firepower, we'll conquer the legendary Elf Island. This guy sucks. Like, he doesn't do anything. He's scared of everything. He just looks like he's about to die with seasickness. And then he comes here with his 5 head being like, we're going to conquer Elf Island with a guy called Guts who could slice me in half just by looking at me. That's a great idea. That's a great idea, Magnifico. Conquer? Yes! Think of it! Elves, man! Elves! They show up in every country's fairy tales, then they reel it alive. And they call it an elf island. Wouldn't there be veritable swarms of them? It's a gold mine. If we capture them and sell them to the royalty and nobility of different countries, no, eventually we'll breed them, popularize them, and build up a huge market for them. The masses will leap to buy them, especially women and children. Evil colonizer grind set. Jesus Christ. He just is he's disgusting. Well, it's no use asking me. You better ask him. Him? Points to the barrel. He knows he's in there, eating on apples. Apologies to Mr. Dazaki, the director. Oh my god. Wait, let's make a deal. King, wouldn't you like to be king of the elves? Oh, Puck, don't be that gullible. That's right. Someone who knows the inner workings of that island is crucial to this plan. If you help us with this, and if we manage to conquer the island, I promise you the throne. How about it? Puck, see through that. Don't become King Puck right now. Lower thy head. Yes, you're standing on it, though. Good luck with that. Shoes? Huh? Oh, Farnese's gone up to the crow's nest. What? Farnese! Roderick? Don't move! The lady's just full of surprises. If it's not one thing, it's another. What brings you way up here? I'm sorry, is it a problem? No, it's nothing like that. What's the matter? Are you sobering up? Here, take my jacket, like a good fiancé will do. Thank you. Today, my magic training had me higher than the top of this mast. I looked down on this ship and the ocean from way up in the sky. It was an experience overflowing with frightening freedom and delight, as if I had melted into the sky and sea. I could go anywhere, become anything. I was filled with a sense of omnipotence. But when the moment passed and I returned to this physical world, I was as ever nothing more than a small drop, floating on the sea upon which I'd looked. Never mind that, I'm not of any real use. I can't even heal him the way Teacher does. I envy the guy. The luck of the wounded, eh? That's not true. Sure, your companions are each very flashy in their own way. But you learn this when you sail a ship. Officers, gunners, troops, sailors, the cook, cabin boy, and doctor. If they don't each fulfill their role, the ship doesn't truly go. Isn't it because you're responsible for that girl that they're able to rampage freely the way that they do? From that perspective, aren't you the one whom they're most thankful? After all, Guts is the boss, and he trusts you with what seems to be the most important to him. Oops, that might have not been very comforting. Thank you. I'm sure that's true. I shall rule all! Huzzah! Isidro's out, Casca's sucking her thumb, Shirka and Evalera are out. Guts is awake. Oh, that's a good shot, and that's a great instant callback. That is an instant callback to like his first night with the Band of the Hawk, when he was sat up on the wall. And oh wow, that's great. Makes you miss the Band of the Hawk already. Again, just another reason to miss the Band of the Hawk. Staring up at the moon as we move into chapter 291. and see how this one continues with Dream of Foresight. So I'm not sure how I feel about the change of the chapter titles, because now I have to keep doing this every time and to read it. I'm like, it's just a huge black page. The black ink be going crazy on this page specifically. They could have just made this a white page with black writing and saved a lot of money. That black ink be going crazy. All right. Very comforting imagery as we have bodies impaled on potentially rooftops, I believe, and hung from the windows of cathedral buildings. Fucking hell, where are we right now? Where have we just gone to? Are you certain? Beyond a doubt. The Kashan force, led by the Emperor himself, suffered a defeat at Vertranus. They were defeated by the Band of the Hawk. The Band of the Hawk? Is this true? Vertranus was besieged by 200,000 of the Imperial army, and the Holy See Alliance forces could have fallen at any moment. Cavalries launched a surprise attack and seized the Emperor. After negotiations, he was released on the condition that he withdraw all Kashan forces. Oh, 200,000 enemies. Unbelievable. Well, no, maybe not for the legendary Band of the Hawk. If this is true, then the White Hawk is... Yes, I believed. No, I knew it from the start. That man would never be destroyed. He would come back. Hide and make ready for the tempest the Hawk brings. Yes, while I was shocked when I heard the news, I sensed somewhere in my heart that this is inevitable. The shared dream that everyone was having. There is another item of importance. Her Highness, Princess Charlotte, whose whereabouts have been unknown since the day of the mysterious disturbance in Castle Wyndham, is presently with the Band of the Hawk. Princess Charlotte? You mean Her Highness is safe? Midland's royal bloodline is intact. This means our kingdom lives on. This news is already rousing every city in Midland to action, and now that most of the occupation army is absent, a number of militias are rising up, seeing this as a golden opportunity to fly the flag of resistance. Then we should do so. The royal city cannot afford to foil behind. But what to do about the hostages? Women rounded up from all over Midland are being held prisoner in the castle. If we move carelessly, it may put the prisoners in danger. Indeed. Well, perhaps now is the time to sneak in and rescue the hostages while the Emperor is away. Excuse me, Mr. Foss, but the children... Oh, what is it, little ones? It's dangerous to go outside this late at night. Why have you all gathered? Father, guess what? It's so strange. We all had the same dream, like the one we had once before, about the shining bird, the shared dream of the hawk. The same dream. Shining bird. Could that mean... On a night when you can't see the moon, all the fog in the city clears away. Then all the Kashan soldiers and monsters in the city and castle go away with it. The fog clears, and the Kashan and monsters vanish. What's it mean? You have to stay inside your house as the fog leaves. Once the fog clears, it's safe until morning, so you have to take all the people in Wyndham and get out of the city by then. All the people in Wyndham? No way, that's impossible. For starters, how are we supposed to tell every resident in the city with those monsters prowling around? It might be doable. No, in fact it's already done. If the dream these children had was like that oracle, most of our subjects asleep tonight should have seen it too. Even if they don't believe all of it, they should remember that something will happen on the night of a new moon, if we seize that opportunity. What about when morning comes in the dream? Does something happen? Well, you see, morning comes, but it doesn't come. A big black shadow hides in the sun. It hides the sun. It's very scary. It's big enough to cover the whole city. A black shadow hides the sun. But it's okay. The bird comes. The shiny bird calls up a big storm. It blows the black shadow away. Then the real morning comes. It's what everyone's been looking forward to. The true dawn. Wow. So now the children are spreading the dream, the shared dream of the hawk. And the Band of the Hawk are rolling on in with the Pope. And as the blessing for them to be the army. Good hawk. I'm quite sorry to make you set out this early in the morning, Your Holiness. Heavens no, was it not I who suggested I accompany you? Last night my heart felt lifted, and I slept quite well. God, he looks like he's only being kept alive based on his encounter with Griffith. I don't know when the last time I never felt like this before. Your Holiness, your health will suffer if you are overexposed to the weather. Worry not, Your Highness. I'm not yet fated to die. Not until I perform your wedding ceremony. Then, when I place the crown on the head of your spouse with my own hands, that will be my destiny. Until then, even if cannon fire rains down, I could see every blast missing me. He's so conceited. Here we are en route to a showdown, and somehow he manages to get into the Pontiff's good graces? Come now, good sirs. We should be openly grateful to the White Hawk that we can again set foot on our native land like this. Were it not for the exploits of the Band of the Hawk, we might very well be lying dead in a foreign land right now. I'm all too aware of that. A dramatic restoration, and an excessively striking victory. I too may be affected by this furor. But no wonder that that picture engraved in my mind convinces me that he's peerless. As they clatter, clatter, clatter behind him. And for some reason, Griffith's cloak is just like inching. Oh no, he puts himself... Why does he... What? Oh, he picks it up, puts it around, and wraps herself. That's Sonya, isn't it? Wraps herself in a thing. Yeah. What are you doing? Playing Krishan? I don't get her. Still though, look at the Alliance armies. I expected they might compete to see who could invest the largest force, but there's only a few thousand from each, cavalry and infantry combined. They must have quailed in the face of 200,000 Kassan soldiers. Are you disappointed? That's not what I... The fool doesn't exist who would invest specifically in a land in which he has no prospect of dividend. The ones here are something like overseers ascertaining the situation. Dude, Lucas is fucking menacing. Look at that face. But this war is not ours alone, but all of the Holy Seas. If it can be settled with only Midlands sent forward, all the better. And if it can't, they probably intend to let us buy time as they each reorganize themselves. They wouldn't. That's what they call politics. But such a trivial matter of this transient world no longer holds any meaning for this war. Before long, day will dawn. The true sun will shine upon the world. So they keep they keep mentioning that they talk about like the true sun and the true dawn and all that kind of stuff. As we move into chapter 292, which is Fog of Death. As they're trying to get people out of Midland, I'm assuming this is what the fog is going to be all about. Majesty, please wait. Please do not do this. Oh, so it's got to do with the Emperor, who's just fucking fuming with rage at this point, I guess. Shut up, Diber. There can be no other way now. But Majesty, to employ such a profoundly illicit practice, there is no precedent. At least test it using a Prashaka. I'm telling you, there's no other way. Rah, my wound aches. It didn't even breathe heavily, like it was fluttering in a cool breeze. That thing was simply there before me. But that was enough to leave me in pieces, disturbed and confused, exhausted and on my knees. We aren't even on the same level. However many hundreds, thousands of Pashaka and hundreds of thousands of soldiers I send out, they'd never inflict a single wound upon it, or even snip off a single hair. My apostle instincts tell me so. Failure, failure, failure. Then so be it. Oh god. So he's entering the room of the fucking weird demon womb, which looks disgusting. What's he gonna do to it? I have no choice but to transcend apostlehood. What does that even mean? What's above being an apostle? Majesty, please cease this. Majesty. Oh, he's going in the demon womb. So if an apostle with all of his power and might enters the demon womb, what's going to happen? He's going to become some sort of fucked up thing. Lower me. Put me into the demon womb. Come to me, Hawk. Lift up your eyes and witness the advent of a towering demon god. Oh, so he's gonna like become the fog of death, or what? The fog's moving. Don't. Keep still. You mustn't open any doors or windows. I mean, it's not like the shit's airtight, but I guess it will work. Oh, okay. Oh shit, it just straight up disintegrated the war elephant. Okay. Classic eyeball popping out moment. Even in an elephant. Thanks, Mira. Dude, it's just disintegrating all of the beasts. Every single one that was out. What the fuck? Or is he like absorbing them even? Could be pulling from the strength of all of them and absorbing it into himself? The fog. That's odd. It's headed this way. And you're all fucking disintegrated. It's like the scene from Indiana Jones, they just opened up the ark and they're just melting. Oh, what's with your face? And they just collapse. No shit. Well, I mean, it lives up to its name. It's certainly a fog of death. What the? Oh, and all of the followers were all that were praying outside of it, all suffering the same fate. Ugh. This thing is just gross to look at. Ah, there you go. The fog's being sucked in. No, it's all the life the fog was touching. Yeah, he's absorbing everything that the fog just touched. It's being devoured. The fog is His Majesty's demonic element, his imperial person itself. It's trying to gobble up every last bit of flesh and blood it touches. Including yourself, probably. You seem protected at the moment. This demon womb is a reincarnation vessel it took my entire life to make. You could say it's a man-made baylet. A truly genuine reincarnation has cast himself into the reincarnation vessel. Further reincarnation of a reincarnation. Such things don't occur. He's achieved a level beyond Super Saiyan. This is an ascended Super Saiyan. Or as I like to call it, Super Saiyan 2. It comes from the bowels of the astral world. Comes something unbelievably sinister. Oh, that's a cliffhanger. Good thing we can just read chapter 293 and we don't have to wait weeks, months, or years for a follow-up because we live in the dream being late to the party. Silent darkness. So the fog of death pulls through the kingdom, absorbs everything, and left is a void of a silent darkness, pitch black skies, empty streets. A ghost kingdom. But as the fog is no longer there, people begin to head out into the courtyard, open their doors, open their windows to see what just happened. Gone. The fog. And the monsters, they're really gone. Like in that dream. Like in the revelation. Oh, and now this is the perfect time for them to come in and be like, hey guys, remember that dream about the big bird? We all had that dream. Follow me. Listen to me. We are the Arklow Knights of the Midland Army. All of you gather in the plaza in front of the cathedral. In accordance with the dream revelation, all the people of Wyndham will now escape the city. I need a representative for each district to be chosen. Everyone spread the word to your neighbors. If any neighbors can't move due to illness or other reasons, let us know. We'll assist them. Bring 2 or 3 days provisions with you and nothing else. There's no need to be frantic. There's plenty of time before morning. Commander Laban, how are the other districts? All according to plan, sir. It must be the effect of the dream. The panic we feared is nowhere to be seen. Everyone is evacuating in orderly fashion. All right, 2nd unit can take charge here. Everyone else with me to the castle. Yes, sir. We are the Cool Hat Gang and we will evacuate everyone and give them cool hats. Still, just think something like this is really happening. What's more, everyone in the city's accepting it as a matter of course, and that includes me. Oh, dude. And then they, like, as they get out, they just see, like, everything was taken except their clothes. Literally not even bodily remains are left over. Everything was just absorbed by that fog. I love that it doesn't take clothing with it. What's all this? Armor. It's as if the people were walking around in it until just before this happened. We don't have time to investigate. Let's head for the prison. Aye. In they go. This castle's nigh uninhabited. What if it's the same here? Quiet enough. We haven't come across one living man. Only armor rolling about like cast-off shells. Oh, they're gonna open the... Oh, they're gonna open the weird door. Oh, what the fuck? What the? It's alright, there's nothing to fear. We've come to rescue you. We're the Midland Army of the Arklow Knights, your countrymen. They're scared out of their wits. I imagine they've been through hell. Sister, they've really come. Shh. I mean, it's like in the Revelation. There's even a girl like her. You're right. Wasn't it because you believed the Revelation that you covered up the bars like that? Ah, right. Then it's true. Are we being saved? Yes. It's as the dream foretold. No Kashan remain in the castle or the city. You can relax now. We can leave! We're gonna live! Oh god! Oh Hawk of Light! Whoa now! Split up and unlock the other cells. Don't leave anyone behind. Yes, sir. Free the naked women from their cells. Wow, there are a lot of them. There's huge prisons crammed to capacity. Those Kashan wretches, they really were rounding up women from all the hell over Midland. This isn't good. I never expected this many. Along with the people of Wyndham, at the very least, we number in the tens of thousands. It probably won't be possible to get them all out of the city by morning, using the underground waterways as we originally planned. Ah, so that's it. They're going to dress them all as Kashan soldiers. This was part of it. That's why the clothing was left behind. Get dressed, everybody. You're going to dress like your oppressors for an evening. Hey, that's... Yep, fucking hell. Get dressed, team. Kashan! Kashan! It's the Kashan! Wait! Remain calm! They're not Kashan! Commander? Mr. Laban? I apologize for startling you, Minister Foss. We lacked the time to send word and explain things. They're not Kashan? Then who are they? Bunch of women. What's this? We still have plenty more to go around. And now we'll carry out our escape from Wyndham. Everybody just pretend that you're the Kashan army for a bit with your little moustache helmets. Let's get the hell out of here, as that is the end of 293, and we move into Exodus 294. That's really interesting. Will this really work? Have faith. I mean, there's no other answer. Everything the children said corresponds so far. I can't see. Make sure you stay in line. Their predictions came true. A little farther and we'll be past the Kashan garrison, if we can just get through that gate. Halt! State your unit's name and affiliation. Sir Laban. What's your mission and destination? I think they're also talking, I think the arrows might state that they might be talking in a different language, potentially. They're talking in the Kashan dialect. Why have we stopped? Shh, quiet. Well, why don't you answer? We'll have to break through, but still. Wait! Examine this, sir. It's our dispatch order. Huh? Question mark. There was a slight mix-up. My apologies, Commander. I will help you. Please play along with me. Yeah, so then it switches. There's no longer the arrows. So I think he's talking in Kashan here. And yeah, there we go. He speaks our language. Certainly. I permit their passage. Open the gate. Who the fuck is helping them? That's Kashan. This is all working out very conveniently. And in through they go. Just who are you? My name is Sharif. I am the Band of the Hawk's espionage division. Kushan spy on the side of the Hawk. The Band of the Hawk? But you're Kushan. Yes, there are quite a few of us in the band, Kushan who have pledged fealty to the Hawk. We'd never draft soldiers from the enemy empire we're currently fighting, at least not aside from war slaves. I couldn't agree more. Oh, and then someone says, I couldn't agree more, and Silet drops in from the trees above to jump in front of them. A complication arises. Who goes there? I've no cause to give the enemy my name. Fuck. Was wondering when this dude was going to show up and actually do something again, instead of his whole posse that would just go, dude, what are you doing? They haven't really done much for a while. What the? This is a surprise, that you would scheme such a large-scale escape by these means. Where did you scrape together this huge amount of equipment? Why'd we stop? Did something happen up ahead? And then there's you. You dared to say you're a pledge of the Hawk. You traitor. We'll have to cut our way through. If we leave even one alive, the Kushan will be after us. Just a moment. You people are the Bakiraka clan, are you not? We've been found out. Bakiraka? You can't mean... Stay back, Mr. Foss. It's dangerous. There's a group of assassins that secretly work for the lands of the Holy See. I do believe they're called the Bakiraka. Your masters, the former royal family of Midland, were also good sponsors of ours. Yep, they wanted Griffith dead. And the Bakiraka failed. What? You jest! Our royal family would never hire a bunch of heathens like you. Wait! I hear the Bakiraka are all masters of astounding killing arts. You mustn't take them lightly. We have women and children here. Exercise discretion. I have heard of the Bakiraka's bitter history. Previously, you were a clan of war slaves serving in the overthrown royal family. Driven from your home, you finally reached this strange land. You're a warrior people who have survived as assassins, relying only on your extraordinary combat skills. To you, this war is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to establish a foothold in the Imperial Army and repatriate the land of your birth. Do you dispute this? You're quite well informed and quick-witted. The Hawk chooses his men well. Knowing all that, I dare to say this. Clan of the Bakiraka, would you care to try serving my master, the Hawk? That's a really interesting turn of events. The Bakiraka who we were introduced to hunt Griffith by the previous king. And now we're getting like a, why don't you come and work for that guy? What? Really? What madness is this? You're recruiting the enemy who stands before us? These are Kushan. So are you, though. The Empire is indeed mighty, but it's an empire of terror, led by a mad emperor, and Silet knows this too. Would you dare to assist that tyranny in order to be reinstated to the Kushan? Would you throw away your pride as warriors? Pride as warriors, you say? We lost any such thing a long time ago. Ever since, we adorned ourselves in the wretched guise of assassins in this land. If the clan can survive and claim a land in which to live peacefully, we don't care if we have to eat mud and finish up without a name. Cast about the word tyranny if you like, we side with the strong. Besides, someone of your quick wit should know this. No nation exists in this world that doesn't practice tyranny. They use it to compete and struggle for supremacy. That itself is the reason of the world of man. Haven't you realized the truth? Your clan's land of peace could lie right beneath the wings of the Hawk, and the future the Hawk will bring about could perhaps lie outside the reason of the world of man of which you speak. What do you mean? I'm not sure. It's just a sense. No, a conviction. Everyone who sides with the Hawk has it. This war is not as it appears to be. Some reconquista? I have never read or heard about this word in my life. Some reconquista to retake a kingdom. Or some jihad between two peoples claiming different gods. Right now we find ourselves in some unbelievable, inscrutable, tremendous current. Guiding it is the Hawk. This war is nothing more than a single event within that current. The current of causality. And what lies in its path is... What are you saying lies in its path? A new world, one no one has ever seen. The perfect world born from the egg. Quite a speech. Isn't it a bit grandiose to say, just to snare an enemy? Otherwise, it's the speech of a band of fanatics. That might be true. Perhaps. Go then. Young master! Which is all that those dudes say. Those big dudes just stand there, look tough and go, young master! Don't get me wrong. Do you think we can capture this many of them on our own? I don't care to run around fixing others' mistakes. That's all there is. That's all this is. They just showed up, and now they're like, you know what? There's a lot of you, and you've convinced me to leave. See you later. Maybe I have caught glimpses of this inscrutable current or whatever it is you describe. However, we Bakiraka have been at the mercy of an undeniable fate. We've survived solely relying on our own bodies and skills. We too have come to perceive something. Is it right to yield oneself to something inscrutable? Having said that, the same applies to that mad emperor. I'll watch with my own eyes and see whether this new world of yours really comes calling or not. So they're just going to be like, we'll spectate, thank you very much. We'll just watch. We'll wait and see how this plays out. See you later. So they showed up, had a bit of a conversation, and then we get Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there, Sir Owen. Predator handshake between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, but the Berserk version. You're still alive, as are you, thankfully. We have much to discuss, but please, first report your safe return to our leader. There he is on the hill, and you're looking up, and Foss gets down in that beautiful shot of Griffith on the horse. And that's the end of 294. So we move into the second to last chapter, 295, Shiva. So this is going to be probably the continuation of what the fuck is going on in the demon womb right now. Something I really love about Berserk as well is just the fascinating architecture, because like when you're an artist and you're telling a story and you're doing it, you know, not in a novel format, but in, you know, manga, you not only have to be like a concept artist, a character designer, an architect, like you are creating a whole established world, and I can't ever, you know, bring myself to fully understand how challenging that is. You know, I have to like construct buildings and create this kingdom, and then this kingdom that I create, I have to remember what it looks like to maintain consistency throughout the whole story whenever this shows up again. You know, like to keep track of a world that you create on such a deep level is something that is too stressful. It feels too stressful. And I adore it. Like the level of detail of having to put this stuff together. Like you also become a sculptor. You create, you know, you're like, I'm going to create like statues and imagery and real religious, you know, dynamics and all of the things that you have to establish is no small feat. Like whenever people are trying or talking about when they're creating their own fantasy settings or writing their own novels or stories, I'm like, hats off to you, because that is just super difficult. That is just ridiculously difficult. And I'm going to cap off that statement of my appreciation for creating worlds and fiction and all that detail by saying this looks like if you had a penis, but the testicles were at the tip instead of the base. On that, and that's all I'm going to say on that piece right there, as we will now move on to the rest of the story. As this dude actually survived, he did not get drained. He was the only one left. I guess he protected himself, seemingly, from the fog of death. Now he's just like, what is that? What the hell is it? Oh, fuck. Okay, so he's running away from the thing that got... Oh, no. Okay, so I guess this was what we just saw at the beginning of the volume. that looked like the Kashan's, cloudy appearance, but with just a sea of faces of dark cloud and red eyes. Except this looks even worse. Like this looks organic, which is at the beginning, that image that we saw still looked like he was in his cloud appearance. This looks like just a organic physical blob of eyeballs and big noses. And it's disgusting. Is it going to be powerful? We'll find out. What is this eye nose blob's power? Let's find out. Oh god, he's just literally just saying, oh my god, okay, this is quite a bit of a voice. Because he's got a million mouths. So all at the same time, he's just going like, Daiba, 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 Daiba. I have obtained it, Majesty, in the infernal abyss. I obtained it. Oh, he's okay. So it looks like he's achieving some sort of fucking form with it. This is just really interesting to look at. Just a mess of eyeballs and noses and fang mouths that's becoming too big for the structure. Power. The power of... The power of what the fuck is that? Dude. What happens now? Like, he just slowly, like, blobs his way over to Griffith and be like, look at what I've done. Majesty, is that you? What a form. It's humongous. Hang on, and a tower falls in the distance, and he's talking about choked, cramped. Oh, has he just become, is he as big as the whole... No fucking... Oh my god, is he gonna become the... Dude, okay, so it's just like the dream. He's the massive shadow that blocks out the sun. And then the true dawn will come after that. Fuck, he's gonna be so massive and huge that he blocks out the sun. These are his hands. Okay, he's actually gigantic. He ain't just a blob of eyes and noses and mouths. He's got a fucking form. He's a massive body. A hand? Is that an arm? Is he gonna put his hand in the God hand pose that the Tower of Conviction broke apart in as well? Are we gonna... Oh, no. Okay, we're just gonna have a bunch of sausages come out of the ground instead. It is, yes, an arm. This is no mist. It is an arm of flesh. More. There's more to strike the enemy and tear them apart, to take what I desire and seize it. More arms. Okay, so he's now a series of spaghetti arms as well. Has he got legs too? Has he got reproductive capabilities? Has he got cheeks? We gotta find this out. Does he... How does all of these... What do all these arms connect to? There are so many questions about this form. Just how much evil has he taken into his body? No, the great emperor has now become hell itself. It's overflowing. Those aren't fingers, you know. Those are something else. Those are the reproductive means. Hell is overflowing. I can't even wrap my head around this and how it looks. But it's fascinating. It's fascinating. How is he going to move? Because at the moment he's just seemingly coming up from the ground itself. He's sprouting arms. What? What's that sound? A rumbling. It's inside the city, from the castle's direction. An earthquake? It's a big one. No shit, the whole kingdom's gonna come apart, dude. As the tower falls on the ground, starts like rolling at them. Jesus, it's over. Several men were pinned underneath. Forget it, they're gone. First it felt ominously silent, now a big earthquake. What a night. I just want to see the sun soon. You are not going to see the sun, my friend. Not until the true dawn comes through. That's how the dream works. That's funny. Look how light the sky is already, and yet... Yeah. Oh, fuck. They're all just standing there looking up. Oh, everyone's looking to this. Everyone's looking at the same thing. This is great. Everyone. Even the Bakiraka. Even the apostles. I think the only ones that are not looking at this shit and have no idea what's going on is Guts and the gang. Yeah, the apostles, even Zod. Where's Skull Knight? Where's Skull Knight? Skull Knight's got to be watching this. He has to be witnessing this taking place from somewhere. The Band of the Hawks, top tier members. What is that? It ends. The reason of the world ends now. And the last one staring at it, Griffith. This is going to be the end of the chapter, isn't it? Ah, no, we actually got a reveal. Wow, I was expecting that for them to cliffhanger us until next chapter. There it is, the thing that blocks out the sun. And that's the form. So he's a giant fucking sausage with spaghetti arms. My fucking god. Look at that. That is what absorbing a whole city of monsters turns a motherfucker into. Spaghetti demon. Interesting. I was wondering if it was going to end up being similar to how we'd have like a replay of the eclipse again with the Tower of Conviction like falling apart in a way that blocked out the sun with the hand. And I was wondering if he was going to take form in a similar way. But it's kind of like a Tower of Conviction scenario again. It blocks out the sun. You need to take this shit down to get the sun shining again. But I'm actually genuinely surprised that it didn't give a brief glimpse at Skull Knight also observing this, because you know that he is. You know that Skull Knight is somewhere in this scenario observing this. The only person that is not is Guts and the gang. They're on sea at the moment, traveling to Elf Island away from everything, which is so interesting that we basically have two stories taking place at the moment, to the point where even though like Guts is Guts is one of the main characters of the story, right now his story feels like more of a B story. Like his journey that's taking place with Casca and the crew getting to the Elf Island is taking a back seat right now to the main developments that are taking place. They're really setting up like the war, the Band of the Hawk, Apostle Emperor versus Apostle Army, and obviously this whole dream and revelation, like Griffith and all of that are really taking center stage right now. They're developing that and giving that a lot of attention, to the point that you go, oh cool, we've got a couple of chapters with Guts now. You know what I mean? Like it's really interesting to see the shift in focus in certain parts of the story. Like they're like, okay, we need to pay attention to this now, and kind of flesh out these events, and that is quite cool. But it's an interesting approach, that Guts' story is relatively happening on a smaller scale. Like they're just on a boat to Elf Island right now while these massive political shifts are happening. Like the war is happening. This is crazy. Like right now, what I think is really cool and unique about this story is Guts is like the primary protagonist, right? And and Griffith is the primary antagonist, essentially. Like we're seeing a story take place through the villain a lot, which is really cool to see, because he is a main character, and I really like that dynamic, that the main story and the events don't only happen from the perspective of Guts, but it also happens from the perspective of Griffith. It also happens from the perspective of just people. And I like that the story can do that. It's not only being told from one perspective, but it's really showing so many layers to things, which makes the world feel so much more alive. Because if we were just focused on like Guts as an example, there would be so much events in the world that we're missing out on. So it's really cool that we're seeing this, and this is obviously the end of 295 that we see this massive thing rising up from the ruins of the Kashan city. It's Mr. Spaghetti Arms, and we're gonna go into the final chapter of volume 33 now, chapter 296, just to see what's going to take place. The heavens shook. So I think we're probably going to see their reaction and response to it now. I assume that they would be able to see it from the distance at this point. I think that the way that you could probably view and include Skull Knight in the story is, if he's not there and not shown on the page, assume that he is there, shown off screen. Like, he is off screen, you know, but he's there. Skull Knight is not napping right now, you know? He's not taking a beauty sleep. He's observing the major events that are happening, but he chooses to appear only when he feels it is necessary to do so. He likes to show up and have a badass entrance. It's really interesting though, seeing all of the different groups all staring at that event taking place. It genuinely, I felt it so deep in my soul that there is a panel in my mind of Skull Knight looking at that imagery, because we've seen him doing something like that before. You know, he's just standing there ominously on his horse. It's like I can imagine the panel in the story of him doing that, and it's not there, but it's in my heart of hearts, it's there. Skull Knight is watching. Again, with your wily schemes. Secret technique bungee slash. You see what I mean? We go back to this crew, and it's like the B plot at the moment. That's not a complaint or a negative observation or anything like that. Don't take B plot as a negative thing. It's just a side story that's taking place right now to the bigger conflict. And it's like we go back to here, and it's a bit more of a light-hearted thing that's taking place. Like, they were like, we need to give Guts something to do, we'll give him a naval battle and Casca will fall off the boat, in comparison to the larger events that are taking place. We're like, we need to show what these guys are doing on their journey to Elf Island. And I assume once we get to Elf Island, part of me is expecting it to not be what they expect, not what they're expecting it to be at all, because I feel like that would play into the story very well, that maybe they arrive there and it's not what it's chalked up to be and they have to do something else, or it's absolute paradise and that is where they hang out. I have no idea. It'll be interesting to see how it takes place, because in terms of this story of Guts versus Griffith, right now we are as far apart from Guts versus Griffith as we could get. Guts and the gang is on a boat heading off to Kingdom of the Elves, and Griffith is getting his fucking kingdom. Like, he's off achieving his dream, and nothing will stand in the way of his dream. Griffith has stayed consistent in his goal and his dreams over the course of the whole story, even from the beginning. But Guts has been on some weird-ass journey, because he's meeting new people, and we're getting new people being added to the fellowship the whole time on the way to the kingdom. So it's going to be really interesting, because I feel like they've got to have some sort of way to swing it back around to have Guts versus Griffith, or that revenge thing coming into play. I guess that's the nightmare that Guts is having, where he's like, you know, I'm that raging beast inside you, and I'm going to chill out for now, but eventually I'm going to break free of these chains. You're going to be in trouble because I need to go and pursue the White Hawk. That is the burning revenge inside you that will eventually break free. So I feel like that's kind of what that nightmare was kind of telling, not only to Guts but to us, that it's like, don't forget about this, because this is still happening, but right now we'll chill out, we'll let this story take place. But revenge will happen at some point, and your friends will be in danger if the beast gets out. So we'll see. We'll see. It's really exciting, because I never know what's going to happen in the next volume. I never know it's so unpredictable, and that is great. The only thing that is predictable is whenever I'm like, oh, Casca's going to be in trouble in some way. Like, Casca's going over the boat. And that's like light-hearted predictability. I can't tell where this story's going to go at all. I can't tell which characters we're going to meet, what fates they are met with, and it's great, because it's just like real life, very unpredictable what can happen around the corner. And I love this story. I love analyzing the character interactions and what's taking place, the themes at large. It's so fun to discuss and share it with you guys. And that's really what this series is all about, is it's not just reading the story with nothing to add. I love when we can have a little bit of a moment to kind of hone in on what's taking place, because I feel like it's important to have moments to check in and go, here's what I understand of the story and the characters so far, and here are my thoughts on it, you know? Because without it, I'm just literally reading you an audiobook, and that's not what this is about. So let's continue into the final chapter of this volume, which is, again, seemingly peaceful for now. It's called The Heavens Shook, though, so I feel like there's going to be some link here between what's just taken place last chapter and these guys. I feel like they're going to just see it from the crow's nest. They're going to be, what the fuck is that? They're going to be like, there's such a nice breeze whenever I come up here. And thanks for coming up so early. It's like the witch girl was saying, for some reason a good wind blows whenever you stand here. I'm really being used here. Oh, they're astral projecting in the sky, and I guess Windmaster is doing the wind. He's giving them good fortune on that. That's really smart. If you're on a ship that's sailing that you need the power of the wind, and you have a dude that literally has the power of the wind elementals at your side, you're like, let's go, let's have a bit of a speed boost. Not that I mind, and it's a special seat. And he gets to... I wonder if he can see that or not. Or I wonder if they're invisible. The sylphs gather there as long as Serpico is present. They've gathered to play. You seem to be rather used to your luminous body now too, Farnese. This might be a good time to move to a slightly deeper level and establish a contract with a spirit. Oh, hang on. Sheik has sensed something, though. I think she's just sensed what's just taken place. Paki, Valera, and Casca are fishing with cheese. Guess you can't catch fish with cheese. I had a feeling that this kind of thing wouldn't work. Fish of the sea are big and ferocious. You gotta give them a bigger mouthful. Mouthful? A bigger mouthful. Hey, get out of my pouch. What are you talking about? We're doing this in an effort to invigorate you, so quit complaining. Do not fish with Betchy. Do not put the balet in the water, dude. No, what the fuck? You don't get a free lunch. Time's come to pay me back for all I do for you. Looks kind of awkward. Cut that out. So as they're about to put the balet in the fucking water, Puck senses something. Gut senses something. I love how it's drawn too. You can see that the tingling is in the back of his neck. The way that it's drawn and spreads out. Oh, no shit. The balet is forming... The balet's face is forming too. And it ain't happy. Lord Betchy is angered. I sacrifice this, so please calm thyself. Puck is like, sacrifice Valera, quick. Yep, the brand's hurting on Casca too. What? This better be a joke. What the? What's this bizarre sensation? Shika, do you feel that? Yes, some unbelievable calamity seems to be taking place. Teacher? I feel it. It's from inland to the east, and it's huge. It's like... just like... this world is tearing apart. The heavens are shaking. Look at... dude. Oh my god. Look at the fucking detail in that. So the way that it's cool that we have this image in our head from the beginning of the volume. So this is all very dark, and the eyes are red. The eyes are red. Fucking hell. That is insane. Look at that. It's like if the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things was fucking 10 times more menacing looking and horrific. Like all of those tentacles, some Cthulhu ass looking demon shit spaghetti monster. And those are his legs. And everyone's just looking in awe of like what the fuck this is. It's a god. Jesus, everyone's getting down on their hands and knees. Don't forget what's going on here. Don't do that. You're about to get fucking smited. And he takes notice of this. Insects. What? What are these little bugs? Oh, see, he's got giant legs. Yes. Oh, he does have legs. That's foot. They're feet. Feet for trampling and crushing the enemy beneath. God damn, he got like elephant feet, but like 10 of them glued together. Oh my god, dude. So you guys better run, because this is the worst thing I have ever seen. Look at this. Yeah, oh, dude. They didn't cover this part in the dream. Oh my god. Flowers. Red flowers just bloomed. They're beautiful. Holy fuck. So beautiful. Bloom, red flowers. Bloom away. Jesus. Do he got a dick though? Do he got a tentacle dick? It looks kind of silly though. Like it does look kind of silly. It's ominous as fuck and terrifying. Like it is something you could never even like begin to understand. But he just got those legs though. He got those giant stompers. I find it just great that he's like a body with tentacles, with spaghetti arms. That's actually what he is. But it's fucking crazy. And the way that it's drawn with the sun behind him is so great. What? What's that gigantic silhouette? That's the beast of the end. The one who brings to an end the reason of the world. That's like a god. It's the god Shiva, that which lies outside reason. Who knew we'd see it in a form such as this? Do you intend to challenge that demon god? What a sight to see. It's like the end of the world. Awesome! Giant monster! Holiness! Your holiness, please guide us. Please save us. There's nothing to fear, my children. Rather, open your eyes and watch bravely. It is now the prophesied time. This beast that pierces the heavens is the personification of all calamity, the embodiment of darkness. But darkness is sure to be driven away by the hawk of light. All of you here today are blessed. Before your eyes a miracle shall, nay, we're already in the midst of miracle. The hawk of light. The hawk of light. There he is. The hawk of light, standing there. He just been standing there for a little while. He pondering. No! No! And that's the end of volume 33. Ending it on the hawk of light, pondering. I feel like that's all that he's done. For the whole volume. Is just ponder his destiny. And we will find out what takes place in volume 34 as we have a showdown of destinious proportions. The destiny and the dream of the Hawk of Light versus Spaghetti Monster will come to a head next time. Or will it? Who knows? I have no idea. We could end up doing a completely different story next volume because I never know how it's going to go. But I can't wait to find out. And you will have an episode. You will have an episode in much shorter time than the wait that you had for this one. Because obviously I had a house move. There was delays. But it was a nice long one today, which was great. An hour and a half of Berserk reading, which was always fun. Hope you enjoyed coming through the Berserk manga read through with me for volume 33, because it was a crazy one. And it is just consistently getting crazier and crazier. And I can't wait to see what happens in volume 34. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next episode of Berserk. So